Today we're going to be painting Sherlock Holmes. No. Dr. Catheter. No. Dracula. Scaramanga. Nope. Lord Summerisle. Nope. Fu Manchu. Nope. Saruman. Nope. Count Dooku. That's the one. So, hello and welcome to another episode of Berserker Painted. Obviously, that was a joke about just how much Christopher Lee has done for acting, which is a ton. He's been in so many things, and he's fantastic in all of them. But we're going to be painting up Count Dooku from Star Wars Shatterpoint by Atomic Mass Games. Let's do it. So we're going to give this guy a spray of white all over, and we're going to take some dark gray blue. Now this is going to go all over his tunic and his boots. And we're going to switch over to some gray, and this is going to go all over his pants. Now we're going to take some sand yellow, and this is going to go all over the inside of his cape. Now, just so you know, I had some problems with the inside of his cape, and I'll show you how I messed it up, and then I fix it later. There you go. Next, we're going to take some Parasite brown, and this is going all over the outside of his cape. So many villains with capes in Star Wars. I understand it's just a fashion choice, and this one makes sense because it's Christopher Lee. He's regal, and he deserves a cape, and I'll brook no argument on the subject. It's also going to go all over his belt. Now we're going to take some Ishtar Pink, and this is going to go all over his flesh, hands and face, and try to get in between this lightning here, if you choose the lightning option. Now we're going to take some uniform gray, and this is going to go all over his beard and hair. We're going to take some Targor Rageshade. This is going to go all over the back of his cape, his belt, and his boots, and his tunic. And his pants. Now we're going to take some Skeleton Horde, and it's going to go on the inside of his cape. This will make things worse, and we'll fix it later. Now we're going to take some Berserker Bloodshade, and this is going all over that flesh. Oh, we're going to take up some Gravelord Gray, and this is going to go all over his beard and his hair. While we have this out, we're also going to do the hilt of his lightsaber. Now we're going to move over to our Parasite Brown again, and we're just going to start highlighting up all of the belt and the back of the cape that we did. So, as usual, we're leaving the recesses and just getting those raised areas. And we want to make sure that we take our time and don't get this anywhere else, because we don't want to redo stuff. We're going to take some Khaki, and we're going to add this into our Parasite Brown, and we're going to do another highlight up on all those areas. So now we're just leaving some of the original Parasite Brown and just doing the most raised areas. And we're going to move back to our dark gray blue and take some uniform gray. We're going to add that in and start highlighting up his tunic and his boots. And we're going to add in some more uniform gray and do a second highlight up on all of those areas. And we're going to take our gray here, and we're going to do our first highlight up of his pants. And we're going to add in a touch of uniform gray, and we're going to do up just another highlight. And we're going to take that uniform gray and we're going to start highlighting up his facial hair and his hair. Let's take some wolf gray and we're going to do up another highlight up on all of this facial hair and hair. And we're going to move over to our Ishtar Pink again, and we're going to start highlighting up all of his skin. So as usual, the most raised areas, we want to leave that Berserker Bloodshade in the recesses. And just go through and take our time and bring up all that color. I do find highlighting to be my favorite part of the actual painting process. The base coating part is pretty boring. Now we're going to add some pale flesh into that Ishtar Pink, and we're going to start going through and adding our last highlight up on the skin. Now we're going to take our sand yellow and do all the raised areas of our cape. But again, we're going to go through and fix this later because I don't really like how it turns out. I didn't control my wash properly. Now we're going to take some silver and we're going to do this chain that he has holding on his cape. And if you chose the lightning hand, we're going to take some Pylar Glacier, and this is just going to go all over that lightning, and we're going to let it dry and do a second coat as well. Now we're going to take some Gravelord Gray, and this is just going to go all over that silver chain we just did. And that's Count Dooku done. We'll do the lightsaber in the red. If you want to check out how I do that, I'll put a link in the description below to my Vader video. And now we're going to move on to the Magna Guard. 2-for-1 video. And we're going to do a super simple paint job on the Magna Guard. Get them done, make them look decent on the table, and just get them finished. First thing we're going to do is take some silver, and this is going to go over all of the metal parts of the Magna Guard. Then we're going to take some black metal and we're going to look at some source material a little bit, and we're just going to pick out spots to add that just so that we can break up that silver. And we're going to take a mix of Gravelord Gray and Runic Gray. So mostly Runic Gray, and we're just going to darken it down a bit. And this is going to go over all the metal we just painted. Now try to get this on smoothly. Don't let it pool too much, but enough that it still does the speed paint effect. Then we're going to take some Chainmail silver, and this is just going to go on the staff that he's holding. We're going to take some sand yellow. Now this is going to go all over his poncho. I actually did a video of these guys before and talked about the poncho and how it seems an unnecessary choice for a droid, but it looks cool, and we decided that that's all that matters. Now we're going to take some Runic Gray, just straight Runic Gray, and that's going to go over that pole that we just painted with the Chainmail silver. And we're going to take some hot orange, and this is just going to go on the red spot on the chest and also in the eyes. Now we're going to take some Bonewhite, and we are just going to highlight up all the raised areas on the cape. So we're going to leave that desert yellow in the recesses and just bring it on up. And you might have to do 2 coats of this just to get even coverage. Next, we're going to take some familiar pink here, and this is just going to go all over the electric power on his staff. And we're going to take some dead white once that has dried, and we're going to do just an easy dry brush up on all that familiar pink, and then this guy is done. So here they are all finished up, and just so you know, I went back and did the inside of Count Dooku's cape the same as I did these guys' cape. Just looked a lot nicer. But as easy and effective paint jobs go, these guys turned out pretty good. You know, they're going to look good on the table. Not everything has to be so overly complicated. And here is the man himself, Count Dooku. He turned out really nice. I mean, it's a lot of darks, blacks and grays, but I'm really happy with how his skin turned out. Really great miniature. I still have the Star Wars Force Unleashed Count Dooku sitting on top of my paint desk. I got it when it first came out. It's a toy I've never been able to get rid of. I love that thing. In the prequels, Count Dooku is probably one of my favorite characters. It is helped by the fact that Christopher Lee plays him. He's such a fun character. Even for the limited screen time he has, he's just awesome. I do love how much his role is expanded in the Clone Wars TV show, because he's just a fun, cool character. And when you find out more about him, it's a little bit more complicated than just, I'm a bad guy. He's really neat. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. All of the YouTube stuff, and you guys have a great day. I love how in Attack of the Clones, they capture Obi-Wan, and Dooku's like immediately like, I can get that guy on my side. I trained his master. Just like, as quickly as possible goes, hey, why don't we team up and kill Palpatine? Wait, I didn't say Palpatine. You know how much time could have been saved here? Dooku could have just ended up being like a good guy and been like, oh, by the way, Sidious is Palpatine. And he's orchestrating everything. Good luck. I'm also glad that the Clone Wars cartoon finally addressed the fact that Dooku told him that this Republic was being controlled by a Sith Lord named Darth Sidious, and none of that comes up. So I'm glad that they finally addressed that, because it's a big accusation, and Obi-Wan's just like, that's throwaway information. I don't need that.